Thank you for tuning with us again on our podcast Be Aussie with Busy. Today we will discuss about the opportunities of our outsourcing sales agent with Mr. Nanavatti. Welcome, Mr. Nanavatti. In your last podcast, you mentioned that your vision is to expand the knowledge of Australian immigration and its process. So can you please elaborate more about it?
All right. Uh, yes, Australian immigration and its process, as I've mentioned several times, it's a pretty streamlined and a difficult process. So, people who have the knowledge of Australia as well as Australian process of how the Australians work are more familiar of how this process is or how this process works. People living in India who are trying to help people migrate to Australia who are not registered agents, it becomes very difficult for them to understand the process because they don't understand the country, they don't understand its laws, they don't understand the rules and regulations, and they don't understand how Australians work. So, to do that, what we have done is we've come up with a plan, as I'd mentioned in my last podcast also, that now we are more interested in focusing on B2B rather than B2C.
Right.
So, what we would like to do is basically set up more franchisees or agents.
So when you say agents, so what does that exactly means? Who can enroll under you and how can we join as an agent?
We have two models. One is an agency model and one is a franchise model. Our agency model is for immigration companies. Now, in India and in the Gulf, we have millions of agencies, millions of immigration companies which are not connected or doing Australia through the right channel or through a registered migration agent or an immigration lawyer. So we tie up with them and we help their clients go through the process through the right way and the right channel. So what we basically do is we allow the agents to use their own brand, market in their own brand,
Okay.
but we stand behind them as their outsourcing partners. So they become our outsourcing sales agents.
Okay.
So what they do is they work with the client, they market, they work with the client, they deal with the client. We are there, we deal with the agency.
Okay.
So it's like a B2B.
Okay. So
We
here
deal
you are not directly related to the
No, we
interacting
don't
with
deal
the
with the
client.
client. No,
Okay.
we don't deal with the clients directly because they deal with the clients and we help them. This is the same thing. If you see in my last podcast also, if you'll see, is through my journey. That is exactly what I was doing 20 years
Yes,
ago.
correct, correct.
So now, 20 years ago, I was basically one of the outsourcing agents who was outsourcing my cases to an immigration lawyer or to a registered migration agent.
Yes.
Now, today, 20 years later, we have a team of RMAs as well as immigration lawyers. So, what we are doing is we are basically taking up applications through our agents and we are doing the back end work and dealing with the government.
Okay.
So the agents basically, when they deal with their clients, they can charge whatever they want. We have our standard fees. They pay us our fees in an easy monthly or easy installment basis,
Okay.
like step by step, as the progress of the file goes. And it becomes easy for the agent as well as it becomes more convenient for the client because at least the client's getting his application done through a right channel.
Correct.
Unlike other agencies that are there who claim that they have tie-ups, but then they do it in-house.
Right. And what about the franchisee model?
Franchisee model is basically for people who are unaware of what immigration is all about.
Okay.
So this is basically for someone who wants to do their own business and wants to particularly work in their business for immigration. So how it works over here is, let's say there is an investor or a venture capitalist or someone who's basically wanting to understand that yes, immigration makes a lot of money and it gives a lot of potential to exposure and potential to clients. So what happens is he starts his own franchisees through us. So when he starts his own franchisees through us, we give them a good percentage of the client contract value, but we take over the client once it's signed.
Okay.
So we do the entire documentation, we do the entire lodgement, we
Mhm.
do the entire process. So there is no risks, no liability to our franchisees.
Okay.
So we give them a 3-year license.
Okay.
We manage the client as soon as the client is signed. So what a franchisee basically gets is we provide him with entire virtual setup. So he can start anywhere in any location with that virtual setup.
Okay. And as you mentioned, no risk and no liability for the franchises. So when we talk about the OSAs, so what about those people?
They have their risk liabilities as their own brand. So between us and them, there is again no risks, no liabilities because they outsource it, they speak to the client. Now, I cannot guarantee or say what they promise their client,
Right.
but I can guarantee and say what I can promise. So, whatever we guarantee or we promise, it's in writing with our OSA. So, what we guarantee is what we deliver. But what they guarantee to their client,
Yeah.
we guide
We can't
them,
control that.
but we can't control that because they are not, they are only selling Australia through us. So, as an agent or an immigration company who's our agent, they are already selling multiple other countries. But where Australia is concerned, they are using our services.
So what are the benefits that you provide to an agent and to a franchisee?
We'll go step by step. For a franchise, we provide them with a microsite, forms, as well as a payment gateway facility.
Okay.
So, with that, they have their own little setup. We provide them with a trading portal which gives them continuous updates, more marketing material, more advertising ideas of how to market on social media or how to market. Plus, we provide them with designs, creatives. We give them brochures. We give them our the head office brand books. So we provide them with all of these things, plus training videos, knowledge, and we have a dedicated team from technical, accounts, marketing, everything behind that one franchise.
Okay.
The support that we provide the franchise is for him to get us a client. Once he gets the client, his job is over. He
Okay.
gets his retainer commission, whatever it is, as per what the agreement is, and after that, his job is over. So
Mhm.
that is the benefit of a franchise. Now, a franchise cannot be an immigration agent. He
Okay.
should not be doing visas.
Mhm.
If he's doing visas, whether he's a travel agency or whether he's an immigration agency or whether he's an education overseas education consultancy
Mhm.
or a work visa guy, we basically we push them as agents. Now, as an agent, we provide them with a landing page, we provide them with a form and payment gateway. But that payment gateway is exclusively for the agent and us. It is
Okay.
not for the client.
Okay.
So we provide them with a set of fees,
Mhm.
which is like on a wholesale basis.
Mhm.
So they charge over and above to their client,
Mhm.
and they basically, get a discount on the fees, on
Mhm.
the actual fees, and they pay us only what is required.
Okay. And what is the criteria to get an franchisee?
The criteria is basically someone should have a shop or an office, 3 staff maximum, 500 square, 300 to 500 square feet area, put up our boards the way it is, and have the passion to basically work on the immigration as we teach them. So it's not much what we are basically trying. We're trying to do franchisees in such a way where even a simple person can basically start in a business center. So like two people, like our Pune franchisee is only two people, a caller and the owner himself, but they are doing pretty well. And our Mumbai franchise is started, as I had mentioned last time, by an Australian lady who's come back to India after 27 years and set up in Mumbai. So she's going to have a couple of staff, she's going to have a couple of managers. So it's a different level. So our business is what the more you market, the more inquiries come. The more inquiries come, the more conversions happen. So it's like a numbers game.
Yes. So is this limited to some locations or are you open for all over India?
Yes, we are doing pan India. We are open for pan India. Pan India, whether they are franchisee. See, it's whether they are franchisee. At the end of the day, my main dream and motto and my main vision is to basically pass the knowledge to every individual and agencies and direct clients also to use a registered migration agent or an immigration lawyer. So, what best policy could be by me dealing with the immigration companies and being their back office? So, they get more time to just sell. We do all the paperwork,
Mhm.
filing, as well as lodgements with the authorities.
So, Mr. Nanavati, I got the fair idea about who could be our agents. But when it comes to franchisee, I'm little into some confusion that who can actually get the franchisee.
Okay. So, like, who can apply for a franchise?
Exactly.
So, any, like, for example, accounting firms, legal firms, venture capitalists, um, even a single person, you could apply for becoming a franchise if
Oh,
this interests you. Anyone who's running education consultancies,
mhm.
anyone who's not doing visas and is into this business can basically potentially become our franchise.
So basically, who is passionate enough to do the business in
Yes,
immigration can.
whoever, anybody who's interested in doing. See, it our franchise model is made in such a way it's like McDonald's. You don't need to be a chef or a cook to, you know, run McDonald's.
Right.
Everything is provided, the whole setup is given. What they need to do is if they want chips, press the button of chips, chips go down, they come up in 2 minutes, fries are done. If they want patties, burgers are provided. This is how they have to apply. This is the bun, this is the wrapping. That's how it goes. So, where our franchise model is, it's exactly the same. No risks, no liabilities. What they have to do is talk about. I don't even say sell. I never tell any of my franchisees or even our outsourcing agents to use the word sell. We just talk about Australia. We talk about the benefits of Australia. We talk about who we are, what we can do, what we have already done. That's good enough for a sensible client to understand where he should put his money and who services he needs to use. So once the agent or a franchise, especially the franchise, because they even use our names that okay, we are using services of FPP International, and now FPP International they have won multiple awards. So if they basically just talk about FBP International, see our outcomes, we have a whole like a separate website of outcomes. See our outcomes, see our client testimonials, look at our reviews that are there. After putting all of that together, then the client himself understands and decides that yes, this is the company I would like my work to be done with. So our franchisee is basically just a front face to introduce our services to the client.
Okay.
Because once the client joins in, the franchisee's role is over.
Okay.
Then our office in India will take over the client, do his documentation, pass it on to Australia, and then they will be basically lodging the application.
Okay. So, for example, if I have got the franchisee from you, and like I have seen all the videos and the trainings that you guys have provided, and I still have some questions. So, is how do I reach you?
You get an ongoing support. We have a whole group. We create a group. We have emails. We have WhatsApps. We have technical people in the group. We have sales people in the group. We have accounting people in the group. We have a marketing person in the group. So we have a group of, the entire team
Okay.
which is there to support our agents or franchisees. And many a times, our technical people even speak to the client, on behalf of the franchisee or on
Mm-hmm.
behalf of the agency. They also speak to the client to give them the right advice.
Great.
So we handhold our agents and our franchisees throughout the process.
Okay. Now I'm also thinking whether I should also apply for one. So I understood about the franchisee model that, like clients comes to you directly through franchises and all. But when it's come to agents, so how do you support them?
All right. For agents, basically, as I said, the model of agency is that they deal with their clients. So the agency looks at, sorry, the client looks at the agent, goes over there and talks to them. The agent refers the resume to us. We guide them from behind. So we have again same WhatsApp group. We have the technical team, marketing team, accounts team, sales team. Everyone is there behind the scenes. So we support the agent. We give them the information. They take that same information related to the client. Then when they take up the application, they take the money from the client.
Mhm.
They sign their contract with the client. The client doesn't even know who is behind the scenes, who's doing their application.
Okay.
So they basically act as mediators,
Mhm.
as if their company is the one who's going to be doing everything.
Okay.
They deal with us for documentation. We provide them the checklist. They provide the checklist to the client. Client collects the documents, passes it on to them. They take it. We also provide our OSAs, by the way, a portal access. So it becomes easy for them to upload the documents of the clients to us.
Okay.
Once they do all of that, we do the file prep from our office, and we basically lodge through our lawyers in Australia. So it's basically, instead of dealing directly with the client,
Mhm.
we deal directly with the agent.
Mhm. As you said that you are always available for the franchises that you have. So is it same for the agents as well?
Yes, yes. Let me specify more. My team. My team is basically definitely available. My marketing person, my accounts person, my business development person, or my technical people, or myself, if I have to jump in, is yes, readily available at working hours to support our agents and franchisees.
So how do you update your agents?
We update our agents through our training portal. So
Mhm.
our regular updates keep on coming through our training portal.
Mhm.
And right now we've started a new process where at least once or twice a month,
Mhm.
we have like a seminar.
Okay.
So, like, we have a meeting where we call all our agents,
Mhm.
we invite them over here,
Mhm.
and they can basically sit with us, get their client queries, or get their, client documents to show us, and then we help them, guide them, and we tell them whether they qualify, they don't qualify, and what are the next steps, or what are the next procedures.
Mhm.
So they get, like, we had a lot of agents that came from Gujarat, we had agents that came from Punjab, from Bombay. We had franchisees also. So we had a mix of everything. Our agencies that came across over here. So, and also we also entertain their clients.
Mhm.
So they still get a boost. So there are franchisees who brought their clients.
Okay.
So we basically give that boost to the agents and the clients itself, which basically gives them more knowledge, idea, motivation
Right.
to go and get the clients that are required for this program.
So my last question for you today is how many agents and franchises you see in the coming future?
We are looking for anywhere from 100 to 1,000 franchisees or agencies, because the price that we are keeping for our franchise stroke agents is very, very minimal. So when a person needs our services, we give them, it's like a yearly subscription, and they can get their return of investment within, between anything between 2 to 10 clients. So you can imagine how good the
Yes.
ROI is,
Yes.
the way we've designed and planned it. So
Yes.
basically, this is what we have, and this is what we have planned. So we want to help as many people as possible, or many business people as possible, or businessmen and investors as possible. Whoever, like, we could have an investor or a businessman who could set up 10 franchisees, because our model is made in such a way that it is not expensive. It's affordable by even a regular person, working class person also. So that's the way and that's the model that we have made our franchisees. And where agents are concerned, they already have a business, they already established. They just need help for Australia, which they have not got till now. So yes, we are looking for at least 100 to 1,000 agents, anything between that,
Okay.
in the coming future.
Thank you, Mr. Nanavatti. It was great chatting with you, and thank you so much for sharing your vision with us. It would be really nice if you say something to our audience.
Okay. My only thing is, please use a registered migration agent or an immigration lawyer to either do your own application or to do an application, or if you're an agent, to do an application for your client. Please don't use unregistered migration agents and don't fall into the trap for that. If you are going and if you think of paying money to an unregistered migration agent, you rather do it yourself, because the amount of knowledge the unregistered migration agent has, you would have more because you would research more. Going back to my journey, if you see in my podcast, previous podcasts also, of how unregistered migration agents don't have knowledge. At the end of the day, I had to do my own research and take help from a proper immigration lawyer to do my own application. I am a migrant. I understand how it feels for an application to go through and the process and the stress that you have for your application to go and cross that other line. We are there to help you as much as possible. It's not compulsory or mandatory to use our services. My only thing is, please, please use a registered migration agent, an RMA, who's listed on our website, or a professional immigration lawyer who's specialized in immigration law and the visas that you are applying for. That's my only thing. Whether you are a direct client, or whether you are a client through an agent, or whether you are an agency who wants or who's planning to do Australia, or who wants to do Australian immigration, please use services of a proper registered migration agent or an immigration lawyer. Yes, they are not cheap, they will be expensive due to the Wage Act, as we've mentioned, but at least you will get quality, and there is accountability which is there for both parties and for the safety of your client or for the clients directly. Thank you.